Houdini. In chess, these players are those who are extremely resourceful in defense, often escaping from hopeless positions. They are able to find hidden resources in inferior positions and are strong in identifying fortresses, perpetual checks, or drawing mechanisms. In fact, they often set up subtle traps when under pressure, leading to opposition blunders, meaning they can counterattack when least expected. Because they are willing to suffer in worse positions for a long time, they can rely on psychological pressure where the opponent thinks they are winning. As a result, these types of players fight endlessly even when losing, and even a player such as Magnus Carlsen would fall into this category. Brainiac. Brainiacs are players who use deep calculation and thoroughly prepare for each situation. They treat the game like a scientific problem and use logic and memory to find the best possible moves each time. This means they go 5 to 10 moves deep, calculating variations or even sub-variations precisely and visualize every position. Because they love theory, Brainiacs master hundreds of opening lines, knowing how to neutralize popular systems that their opponents may use. The Realist. This is a player that focuses purely on what works practically over the board as opposed to what is elegant or creative. They look to combine calculation with insight so that their play is adaptive rather than rigid like Brainiacs. Realists have strong ability to read opponents and what their style is based on impulsivity or other factors. In fact, this allows them to clock emotions and use them to change up their style more. In terms of openings, realists use solid, flexible openings, such as the Roy Lopez, and are often safe with their playstyle. Methodist. Methodists are those who follow the rules to a T. They base their game on discipline, sound principles, and methodical progress instead of creativity or emotion. As the name suggests, they treat the game like a craft with clear rules, routines, and even blueprints for their play. For example, Methodists follow classical principles like controlling center, developing pieces, or connecting the rooks. They stick to the book when it comes to playstyle, which means they rarely launch an unsound attack and wait for the correct positioning. If they do win, it's often by wearing their opposition down instead of absolutely destroying them, which means they can sometimes miss opportunities because they are so risk-averse. Wizard. Wizards are a very unique style of chess player. Their style is based on creativity, intuition, and even unpredictable genius. They conjure up crazy ideas from what appears as chaos and often play moves that defy conventional ideas but still work wonders. This means they can create new ideas and rely on imagination and make sacrifices for long-term gains. This includes sacrificing pieces such as the queen just for long-term pressure or even so their play looks more aesthetic. Wizards prefer chaos and then rely on emotion to play, except because they are not as rational, it means their play can be inconsistent, forcing them to burn and crash if it does fail. The Tactician. Tacticians are players who look at calculations and rely on relentless energy in order to win. This means they scan for combinations no matter what the position and extend 5 to 8 moves deep. Because of this, they consider accepting imbalances or material sacrifices if that leads to more effective strategies. As such, for their aggression, they demand an immediate response. 4 main reasons tacticians may sacrifice are to gain time, break blockades, reduce king safety, and even open lines. The Master. To reach the title of Master, you need to reach an ELO of 2200 or higher and maintain it over a specific period. This requires extreme levels of dedication and means you have to compete in certain tournaments over a period of time. This means you make quiet moves that improve your tactics and build up advantages over time. Masters are aware of most levels of play and begin to find their own style, which they then adapt to suit themselves. In fact, psychologically, they stay calm under pressure, manage their time effectively, and even avoid emotional decisions. The Ninja. In chess, ninjas are stealthy and deeply cunning. They operate in the shadows, set traps, avoid direct confrontation, and strike at the perfect moments. This means they don't have to be flashy or aggressive, but go away from convention and are patient and subtle. In fact, they can play up to 10 quiet moves if it slowly puts them at an advantage, which means they value control over chaos and avoid messy fights such as trades. The Viking. These are asymmetrical in their tactics as they switch between attacker or defender modes with ease. As such, they base their style on the opposition playing a careful defensive game and avoiding traps when needed. In doing so, they look at long-term survival and focus on king protection by controlling key squares. However, they then switch to attacking and adopt a potential siege mentality. This means they don't rush blindly, but cut off escape routes and aim to boxing the king. This follows some convention by occupying key center squares and developing pieces to maintain pressure. The Conqueror. Conquerors follow an all-out aggression tactic, looking to dominate and take control early and decisively. They dominate the board fast with powerful, threatening moves and look to pressure the opponent relentlessly. In fact, this Conqueror style pushes for area control and secure keylines like diagonals to launch attacks. In fact, they take heavy risks for aggressive gain, but do balance this with reward for fast victories. And if you enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe.